Yes.
I have a question
Yeah.
about the seasons. For example, spring, you said it's life and it's a kind of peak of life for all human beings and animals.
Yeah.
And spiritually and psychologically, so we have kind of height in our joy and sensation and all that. But physiology, why the body reacts like violently against it. We have the height of allergy season is in the spring, so the body releases. Our body is not at its peak during spring. If you have allergies, it's going to be in the spring.
Okay, but it wants to be. It's inclined to be from its essential nature. Allergies are a disturbance. So we want to heal those allergies so that we can enjoy the spring, inshallah. And it can be done. Allergies can be overcome.
No, I mean, like you would fall with depression, but fall is more kinder to the body in the spring.
Well, not in essence, it's not. It's not in essence kinder, because it's colder. The body likes warmth. And it gets sick from it. The Prophet ﷺ said the root of all illness is cold. Because life is warm and moist. I'm not saying, that doesn't mean we cannot be healthy in any season. And that doesn't mean we cannot have joy in any season. And that doesn't mean we cannot be appreciative, thankful, have gratitude and praise in any season. But springtime is a time in which the blood rises, the impulse and the inclination for pleasure, for activity, for awakening, for opening, for blossoming naturally happens. Now, the fact that you have allergies, that's disappointing, but it's an indication of something way out of balance, both in the creation and environment, lifestyle, and in our individual being. But it is an illness and a disturbance that can be overcome, and one wants to overcome it so that we have access, easy access to the beauty of spring. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's not good if you have allergies and you can't enjoy the beauty of spring. I mean, spring is ecstatic. Nature is in ecstasy in spring. Yes? I mean, what it's doing. So, yeah, I know it can be, but it's the natural inclination and the correspondence in which we can begin to recognize and identify what pleasure is about is really it's typified by spring in nature. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like allergy is very popular.
Very common.
Very common body reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, and it happens always when it comes to seasonal, most allergies.
Frequently, yeah, very often.
Tend to be in spring.
Yes.
And it's just the contrast to having a really good spirit and really good mood in such a nice season, but the body is fighting against that and these allergies. Because sometimes when you have depression and stress, you are more inclined to get diseases. But in spring, there is no depression, stress is less and more relaxed, but we have the body react to to pollen, which is a tiny thing.
Overreact to pollen.
Overreact.
Yeah. And the overreaction, it's an imbalance. So it's like saying, okay, if you have an affliction with your legs, that doesn't mean running should not be pleasurable. No, running, skipping, dancing is a pleasurable thing. But if you have an affliction with your legs, you want to heal that affliction so that you can dance. So you have to recognize, we're talking about the elemental, the baseline here. Allergy is a disturbance. It's out of balance. We can heal allergies. Homeopathy is wonderful for it. Homeopathy is the only thing I've seen personally that really works very well and effectively in finally removing the predisposition for the chronic allergies. It's inherited, the inherited predisposition from parents to children. So you want to overcome that so you can find joy. But even more importantly, people in the age in which they live, I tell you, we live in a society, and people have a hard time believing this, but we live in a time when one of the hardest things to give people access to is people have difficult of access to that. Pleasure, simple pleasure, we like to say, people say, well, we're a very material society, we're very pleasure materials, or we're sensory oriented, we're hedonistic and all that, hypersexual. I mean, I say this society it's a lie. This is not a sexually oriented culture. It's all posturing. It's not real sexuality and real sensuality. It's all because they don't have it. It's all an abstraction of it. It's all because they don't have it. They long to have it and they posit it, but they abstract it outside themselves. And pleasure is something even the Muslims have become infected with the Puritanism that says to feel good is wrong because it's not spiritual. And that's not Islam. We say Alhamdulillah, and if we say it authentically, we say it because we feel it. We take pleasure. We accept pleasure. But pleasure is the very simple thing that many, many, many people need to get well and to balance their body and to get over their illness. But they will not take it. They feel that it's wrong for them to have pleasure. Do you all understand what I'm saying here? Some do, I hope,